Hello, human being, human, mortal, person, soul, homo sapien, earthling, higher animal, living person. Welcome to part 2. In case you're inept, enjoy this greatest hits audio reel from part 1.
The artist we're discussing today.
The one and only Madonna. So, Hard Candy, this your first time hearing this record?
What was the question?
Vision Quest.
Yeah, I never heard of it before. I remember feeling so, dirty.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Check the credits!
So the year is 2008. Top 10 songs on the Billboard charts. Number 10, Chris Brown.
That's impossible. Dude's got hits, man.
Number 9,
Yeah.
Chris Brown.
Are you serious right now?
Yes. Are you not having fun this time?
No.
Number 6, Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown.
You gotta be kidding me right
Guy
now.
was crushing in 2008. Sticky and sweet. If
So
only I
excited.
had a guitar. Why, there's one right here. Go,
what,
my brother.
What? Arm gate, bicep gate.
I'll be your one-stop candy shop. Everybody needs candy in these dark days. Written by Madonna and Pharrell, or Will Ferrell. What's your favorite planet?
I love the Neptunes.
Mine's the sun. I think this song talking about fast sex.
Bump and grind it.
What song was that? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Cool, man. Welcome back. Thinking about that ass. Candy shop piece.
That's fire.
A little off topic. Holly, it's obvious you don't know of Madonna's achievements.
This sucks.
You are and never will be as prolific as she has been throughout her entire life. Yeah.
Hey.
Before you even attempt to slam one of the greatest talents to ever hit the stage, your turn.
Boogie woogie.
The word candy as a metaphor for schmeck.
And this sticker gives me a free coffee.
Madonna is the queen of pop. Gaga is the queen of poop.
Every psycho chick that is trying to destroy me.
So mature comment there.
Lame.
Easy.
You're a pro, Mikey.
Ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
When you hear that music.
Black Jesus crying.
WT fudge am I reading? What do you people want?
I didn't like this. So an insanely long career? Check. Pioneering trends in music and fashion? Check. Classic albums? A few checks. If I put a brassiere on that was like 2 cones?
Yes, I'm aroused.
Done.
I just pictured it.
I'm a man, but I love this record!
You can't do that.
Oh, balls. That was so great. Pretty cool production. And finally, Ultimate Destination 7 years ago says, well, fuck nut, then get out of here. And now, enjoy number 2. So the next song is Incredible, which I disagree with.
Hey there. If you want to listen to this clip, you're gonna have to go download the album. If you dare. It's pretty shitty. Hence the purpose of this podcast. Anyway, back to the show.
I did my homework, man.
No, opening chorus, and you're like, I'm all set. I sat through over 6 minutes of that ass. Did you dig the tune? I'm sorry, I didn't like it. I thought it was one of the weaker ones on the record.
Yeah, I didn't care. I mean, it was okay, but here is, if I can get on my soapbox for a second about
I didn't know you came down.
this. Yeah, okay, but I'm going back up. So here's the problem. I'm sorry, this just keeps happening to me.
I'm with you, man.
Okay.
I'm rolling with you.
So the problem with being Madonna is that people are going to inadvertently attempt to place every new song into a place in the canon,
Okay.
right, of her career.
Yeah.
So it takes away her ability to just put out like a decent tune, right? That wasn't.
Everything's got to be a 10? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean,
How come I don't get any background music?
I don't know. This is just a phenomenon that happens with me. I don't know why. But yeah, it makes it harder because We'll see. Okay, forget it. I'm done with my point. We'll see if we can find you a track to talk over.
Thanks, man. David Mueller,
Oh,
1 year ago,
yes.
said, 10 years ago, I was 18 and listened to this album the whole summer. How much hope I had.
He's a 28-year-old who feels he's got no hope. Oh man, you're only 28, guy. Oh, don't start now.
No, keep fighting.
Wait.
Madonna wouldn't want you to give up.
Wait until you're like 40 to say stuff like that.
Like we do.
Oh man.
Farubs M 6 years ago says, just because you have some lousy tattoos does not mean you are subjective towards music, nor does it mean you have taste in music at all. For once, you should have sat in your chair and thought, why did Madonna put this on her album? Do you really think she couldn't have put other songs instead of this one? She could, but she didn't. Think about the reasons Madonna does her thing. Not clap your arms like a deluded stan at concerts. And I have none of Madonna's tattoos. So just to wrap up.
What?
I do not possess any of Madonna's tattoos. Wasn't that great?
I'm so confused.
I was so entertained by Farubs.
For rubs? And he was arguing with somebody.
Yeah. I love that it doesn't show that who they're bashing or who they're arguing with.
Yeah.
They're so entertaining. Andre Macedo, 6 years ago, says, well, I must have my opinion, and in my opinion, it's not good. And I study music, so I can say this song is poorly produced. Well said, Andre. I'm on your side, brah.
You're dumb, Andre.
Hey!
It's not well
what did Andre
produced.
do to you?
Not well produced, man.
Time to die!
You're lucky you're not around, buddy.
Okay, so Beat Goes On, featuring Kanye West. Where you at?
It's coming.
Common.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love her on that. I think, I
Yeah.
mean, the weakest part of that song to me is Kanye.
I woke up with this little bastard in my head quite often.
Yeah.
Over these last.
No, I think
couple of
that's a
weeks.
good tune. I didn't love the verse, the Kanye verse.
Can you
but-
play the Kanye verse?
Do we have to listen to the whole Kanye?
No,
verse?
of course not. I clipped the whole thing, but. So Patrick 3183 6 years ago says Kanye West equals douche.
Oh, get lost.
Right?
Come on.
Poor guy. Flopney Spears. Got those pancake titties? 6 years ago. They sound exactly the same. Madonna will never be on the same level as the legendary Queen of Pop and Queen of the Holidays, Mariah Carey. What?
Ladies with an attitude.
Wow.
So I'm thinking that's a copy and paste that she just goes down around to all the Madonna videos and she just defends Mariah Carey. Because Mariah Carey needs defending. Like that girl, like I'm hoping that she makes it someday. Chastity Duarte, 3 years ago. Matthew Z, are you asking me out on a date to Starbucks today? Are there DMs on YouTube?
That's awesome.
right?
That's great. I want to see a whole conversation between
there are.
two people in the comments, but not like fighting or anything. Just like, hey, what are you doing today? Nothing.
That's what this was.
I'm
yeah.
thinking we get some coffee.
Go to
Hey,
Starbucks
are you-
today?
Are you asking me to Starbucks?
Today?
Like, that's awesome.
I like that she added today.
Today.
Let's go to the mall. Idunchi Vivo 4 years ago says, Pharrell Williams does not make me happy at all.
What? Come on.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Pharrell makes everybody happy.
Not this guy. What do you mean? He doesn't make everybody. How could you say that, Sammy?
It's ridiculous. Get lost.
You ready for the next song?
Yes.
Are you looking at your track list?
I'm so ready.
Dance Tonight is the next song, written by Madonna. It's all that bass. That bass line is like funk. It's cool.
I like it.
Opens with Timberlake going, hey, Madonna, I'm taking you to the club. Feels all right. Go. He just does that over and over again. It's pretty obnoxious. Featuring Timberlake again. I didn't think it's as catchy as Candy Shop. And when I say that, I mean my version that I wrote.
Oh, That's good. You're right.
ETC Planet 2 years ago says, "Nyah." No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Madonna is not God, but was brought to give us sweetness and open our minds. She's in our DNA. I admire this soul. Axl. I feel like Madonna, Axl Rose, and Johnny Depp all got together for like a powwow.
What?
And made a joint decision to all like start talking in an English accent. Depp was like, no, yeah, it'll be cool. It'll probably even catch on. But it did not. We all noticed.
No, we noticed.
Dancing hip hop metal queen.
That's the name?
3 years ago says, "I love you, white chocolate. Love you forever." Los Chaconi.
Yeah.
2 days ago.
Man.
As much as I love Madonna, I hate this song so much. Wow. It's way too JT sounding, and I hate it. TBH Pharrell's contributions were better than dated sound of JT and Timbaland, but if you speed up the track one notch at the 4 minute and 23 second mark, then it gets bumping. If they would have went that route, it could have been a huge club banger. Just saying.
That's great. And what's funny is that was from 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
And it was like dated sound. That was me being dumb and being like, this just came out 2 days ago.
Did you write that?
Yeah.
Sammy Awad, as much as I love Madonna, that is you. Fastolf Baggins, 9 years ago, says, "Humph, another duet with Justin Arsehole. I don't understand what people see in this bloke. I hope Madonna goes back to her techno house sound on her next album, because the last one sounded so unnatural and boring. This song's a good example of this." Wow. How about Nick Cap, 9 years ago? "Honestly, she's the only one who has kept the level high since the 80s. From the 80s until now, she hasn't let her standards fall. Unlike Mariah and Whitney, for instance. Ooh. Much respect to Madonna. Smoke. She really is a clever businesswoman. She'll defo be in the history books." I'm thinking defo. Sorry. Okay, gotcha. Motorola was a bad move, though. It's all good. Keep singing, Madonna. There's still lots of fans out there. Keep the flame burning. Peace, woman.
Wow.
Like, there's no way Madonna didn't
Obviously, she read that,
so,
and that made her day that day. Yeah, she needed that comment.
No question.
Thank
you for playing some music in the background for me on that one. Spanish lessons.
Hold on. I got you.
No, it's over.
No, I got you.
It's over.
I got you.
This is back to a Williams and Madonna with the Neptunes production. Yeah. I found this one to be particularly obnoxious. I just shouldn't have held like any high standard or standard at all for the lyrics. I keep forgetting they're just props next to the featured beats.
Yeah, I don't care for it.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
High five! High five! That was totally selling it. Really. So we got nothing on Spanish lesson. We're moving on to YouTube comments already.
Yeah. Hold on.
Drop like a sexy beat though.
I have a feeling you're gonna get it. Go ahead.
Nadia Duran. 3 years ago. It's funny she has a song called Spanish Lesson when her Spanish pronunciation is so bad. Really bad. She is in need of an urgent language lesson. 15 Lumen 4 years ago says, could be better. Enri Siroto 2 years ago says, there are some stinkers on this album, generally the ones with Justin T, but this must be the winner. So bad. Thanks, man. I really felt that.
Yeah, man.
I felt it in my nuggets. All right, so the next song up is Devil Wouldn't Recognize You. I do not have a link meter. Mine's maxed out at all times. It's in the red. So this was written by Madonna, Mosley, Timberlake Hills, and Joe Henry, who is an American singer-songwriter, guitarist, and producer. In 1987, Joe Henry married a one Melanie Ciccone, who is Madonna's sister.
Interesting.
So he's actually co-written several songs with Madonna throughout her career.
So that's what we needed to do to be.
Yeah. I mean,
why didn't somebody tell us?
I actually tried. Like in 1987, I proposed to Melanie. She's like, "You're 7, so
Okay.
no."
Good try.
Not bad, but after Spanish lesson, a fart into some tinfoil would be a strong follow-up. It actually reminds me a lot of something Timbaland would go on to do with Chris Cornell on his album Scream, released a year later in 2009. Actually, a lot of Timbaland's contributions were familiar to me because of Scream, which I had heard first.
Oh.
Which I really liked, actually, but I'm biased when it comes to anything Chris did. But right down to the wicka 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 stuff that Timbaland does, a lot of that stuff.
He does tons of that.
His own turns
voice, wiki wiki.
Yeah, that turns up on the Cornell record. Actually, the Cornell album would have been like my first real kind of exposure to a Timbaland thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube comments. Mad
Hold
Dom.
on. Can I just say?
Sure, you can if you want. Are you gonna, though?
Nah.
Ooh. Is that
No, I was going to give you a...
Fucking metal.
I'm sorry. I'm slipping, guys.
Oh, Mad Don, 5 years ago. New experiences give old songs new life. Damn it. Fucking Brits. What?
I don't know.
know.
Madonna taking breaths in between lines.
Okay, don't do that too often. Abdullah Raleigh fans 6 years ago says, Madonna is my GD wife. But he doesn't say GDs is the real thing.
Yeah,
I am love 10 months ago. 10 months ago.
10 months ago.
Says, this song's about a narc. And finally,
Yes.
we made it.
2.
Voices.
That's not the last song.
It is on the regular release.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so the mix or mastering caused the entire track to clip.
You noticed that too.
It has distortion to it that doesn't sound like it's an effect. It sounds like maybe they left no room for the mastering engineer, like no height. So when they submitted the mix, like the mastering engineer he was just maxed out or something.
So I had that in my notes and I thought,
Oh, okay.
I didn't say it because I thought maybe I was just using like bad headphones the whole time or something.
No. So no matter
Interesting.
like whether it was on my monitors at home or in my earbuds or whatever, it always had that kind of distortion to it. It had to be done on purpose, but I don't see why you would do that.
Yeah. I was getting your next track ready, man.
Worth the wait.
I was getting your next track ready.
That was it.
No, I mean for you.
Oh, for the YouTube comments?
For you.
Dude, this better be sexy.
You ready?
I'm ready. YouTube comments.
Go. Go ahead.
Celebrate. Oh, so good.
Why aren't you talking? This is your backing track.
I have to listen to it. That's the last time Sandler was funny.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube comments for voices. Jesse Frost 1 year ago says house sitting / pets, etc. But while walking B, short for big black beautiful bitch, made me think of this beautiful song. LOLs.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
I'm a bad bitch.
Erica Banowski 55 1 year ago says, I just hope next album Madonna stays away from hip-hop producers.
Oh, man. That's so mean. That's just mean.
Dean B 2 years ago says, Madonna makes great music. It's too bad she's such a vapid, clueless moron.
Boogie woogie.
I don't think so, buddy.
Not so. SH 5 years ago, I must think about an awful woman. Very good song for that money, horny bitch. Dude, just nonsense. And finally, our last YouTube comment of the day.
Let's go.
Taylor Jones,
Yep.
11 months ago, says, I so love this song.
Yes.
Go, and keep going till you're 106 years old. It will come true. I have magic events. My cards are right. Xena from Saskatoon. SK Canada, born in Lebanon, Beirut. XOX 73.
magical.
That was magical.
Oh
was
my
amazing.
gosh, right?
That was awesome.
That girl is off of her rocker. That's it. That was our track by track review of Hard Candy.
Well done.
Final thoughts? Would you ever listen to this record again?
No.
No. I think she's got better ones.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Yeah.
So how about we do, unless you had any last minute kind of comments about the record, we can get into our point system. If you want to, point system. So there's 12 songs in like the regular release. So out of 12, what you giving it, sucker?
I'm going to give it a 5.
Wow.
4?
Hey, all right.
Your reaction just made me doubt myself so quickly.
Don't do that.
So
Stick to your
quickly.
convictions, my brother.
I have zero convictions because I wasn't even listening to the right album apparently all week.
You're one of
listening
those
to the
guys like
Japanese
that John
release.
Mulaney bit where he's like, a waiter could spill soup on my lap and I'd probably end up apologizing to him.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that.
You just walk with your feet spread.
Yeah.
You're just this vulnerable guy.
Yeah.
No, dude, you going with a 5?
No, 4.
4?
4.
All right. Yeah, I know it was difficult for us to sort of, okay, well, which Madonna record are we doing? Because it wasn't obvious. And I do think this is like, I think it's definitely one of her worst.
Yeah.
And American Life might be her worst record, but it was so bland.
Yeah.
And so boring. I don't even remember a note of it. And then MDNA was a little bit better, but that was definitely one of the worst ones. Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna go with like a 2. I didn't mind Miles Away,
Right.
and I liked a lot of the production. I liked a lot of the beats and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
Yeah.
that's really good. And then
So I give it a 1 or a half a point for Miles Away, maybe a half a point for like Devil Wouldn't Recognize or Voices or something, and then a 1 for the production. Like, that's a lot of talent in here, man. And the album should have been like, wow. Even for me, I can recognize a good song, even though it's not my genre, man. I can still recognize it. And this, man, every song was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I think they maybe thought that there would be more magic in the studio than what arrived.
Yeah.
Because, you should be able to put those beats and songwriters together and assume you're going to get magic. But what they ended up getting was just stuff that sounded like just reminded you of the magic that those guys have made elsewhere.
Right. So I would say that, when we were going through our check the credits and we said like it was number 1 in 37 countries, it sold 4 million records, all that kind of thing. Yeah. This is just the brand then. It's not on the strength of material, I feel.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Now, do you have any closing thoughts on Madonna in general? We can move off of Hard Candy.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. Is like she's her own standard.
Yeah.
Right?
She's in a level of her own. Yeah. For sure.
So unfortunately, she can't just put out like a good tune. Like you're going to end up comparing it to name your favorite Madonna song, right? You're going to do that. And even subconsciously, and you're just gonna be like, no, I don't think this is that good. And it's always gonna be colored by that. So that was a big one for me. And then, just sort of, this kind of reminded me going through her thing. Like, I love Madonna over like disco, house type beats.
Yeah, right around Ray of Light, I think, is when she started to really embrace. She's always embraced technology. Yep. Like whatever was the sort of the technology, the dance club sort of sound. She was always incorporating that into her music.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And it didn't feel like just sort of like being a culture vulture or anything like that. Like it didn't have that. You just felt like she was in it. She's in there. Like she should do that. Yeah. So Confessions on the dance floor surprised me. I really like that record.
The ABBA sample. Yeah,
that was cool. So that's it, really. It's just like at this point, 40 years in, she's not getting away from.
Yeah, and this is I wanted to touch on this as our sort of closing conclusion. I mean, she was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this same year, 2008.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So her
wow.
first year of eligibility, she went in.
Good for her. That makes sense.
Yep. So I feel like I wanted to really just drive home how important Madonna is.
Nice.
And I think it's easy for guys our age. Mm-hmm. But last night, my oldest daughter, had one of her friends over.
Okay.
And we were talking about what's going on this week, and I said, well, tomorrow I've got to go do the podcast, right? Oh, well, which one are you tackling this time? And I said Madonna. And my daughter Cora knows who that is, but the other girl's like, I don't know who Madonna
Really?
is.
How
Yeah.
old? How old?
She's 14, 15.
Wow.
Yeah. So Madonna was the original.
Yeah.
She's the original. Back then it was your Cyndi Lauper, your Paula Abdul, Janet Jackson, Debbie Gibson, and then today there's no Britney, there's no Gwen Stefani, and obviously Lady Gaga. It's without Madonna.
Yeah.
She's the original, a fashion icon. Going through Madonna's early career and albums, like the parallels to Michael Jackson,
Oh.
are pretty common and consistent, even to the point of them being called the King of Pop, the Queen of Pop,
yeah.
respectively. The crotch grabbing too. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of the outfits and things like that. But it was Michael, it was Prince, and it was Madonna.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So, and I noticed like a Virgin is basically Billie Jean, but in a major key. The do 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 do.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Mikey.
So a lot of her early hits like Borderline, Holiday, Material Girl, Like a Virgin, they weren't written by Madonna.
Right.
She gets a lot of respect as being like this songwriter and everything, but it wasn't until her like legendary third album, True Blue, when she really started to come into her own and evolve as a songwriter. Okay. And by her fourth record, Like a Prayer, she was writing or co-writing all of the material,
Which is
as well
awesome.
as producing. So in the beginning, though, she had some help. She was using digital recording in its very early stages.
Huh. Interesting.
So yeah. What else? I got a bunch in my notes.
And I mean, as much as she's written her own stuff, she knows how to collaborate. She knows how to pick people, like working with Timbaland, Pharrell.
Yeah.
Justin, like that was a smart move, and it's
Yeah.
moves she makes. I mean, this song,
Justify my love.
like that's Lenny Kravitz. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a great
And
tune.
Prince on Like a Prayer, right?
And Prince, like
Yeah.
Prince did Like a Prayer.
No, on the album.
Oh, on the album. Okay,
I don't remember the song that they did together, but he's on Like a
Oh
Prayer.
yeah, no, I remember that. That was a good tune.
It was a good song.
Yeah,
Very
I
good
liked
song.
that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of, because sometimes like what I was finding as we're going through each artist's discography, their catalog, you're looking at documentaries, you're looking at interviews, behind the music and all these kinds of things that your perception of that artist is something before we start to do the research for the episode, and then it can change. So like I was mentioning to you earlier, was that I wasn't expecting Axl Rose to kind of bug me and get on my nerves as much as that happened when I was doing all that Guns N' Roses stuff, because I remember being an Axl defender at one point in my life, and defending the voice and defending that. And when I was going through it this time around, and maybe it's just where I am in my life, the kind of mood I was in, who knows, right? And that's why it's important that it's a subjective medium. But I wanted to mention that nothing like this has ever happened before. And what I mean by that is an enormous like dance pop icon. Mm-hmm. She's in her 60s.
That's crazy.
And she's still putting out records, still touring and doing all of that stuff. Like that's never happened before.
Yep.
Like even Michael was gone like at 50, right? So she's 61.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
It is crazy to start with what you would consider like kind of bubblegum pop.
Right.
And yeah, you're absolutely right. Like that's nuts.
So I don't know if you got a chance to check out like the Truth or Dare documentary. That was the big documentary she did in 1990,
right,
on the Blonde Ambition tour and everything. And
didn't see it.
She's with Warren Beatty at this point.
Oh yeah.
And I can't believe
this was a Dick Tracy era.
Yeah. So I mean, she's with him in this documentary, and before the end of it, they break up.
Oh, really?
There's one scene where she's getting her voice checked out by a doctor, because the touring, she's starting to lose it.
Yeah.
So she's got to have vocal rest and stuff. And Warren Beatty is there with her, but he's kind of off camera, and the stuff that she's saying and stuff, and he's kind of jabbing at her, saying things like, you know, you can't say anything that's not on camera. Everything has to be on camera. Like, really? I think he was annoyed with like just the cameras were constantly around. And she puts on a little bit more of a facade because cameras are always there. Like, that's not the real Madonna. And the next scene is like headlines that she dumped him.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's an interesting documentary. I just want to mention the one part where she's on the phone with her dad because the tour's coming around to Detroit. Okay. So she's kind of coming home. Right. So she's on the phone with her dad, like, hey, how many tickets do you need? Like, who's coming? Yeah. And, you know, they're having a conversation, and the dad's asking her, like, is there any chance you could tone it down a little bit?
Wow. Really?
Yeah. And she's all like, Dad, I'm not going to compromise my artistic integrity and everything, but she's like,
do you really talk about artistic integrity to your dad?
Know. Yeah.
Like, your dad's just like, okay, but like, you know, when you come home, can you just like keep it all,
tone it down a little bit? Like, because she was telling him, like, are you sure you want to come, Dad? Like, it gets a little racy. Right. And Dad's on the phone going, well, can't you tone it down a little bit? Right. Because I'm going to be there. Right. Exactly. And she's like, Dad, no way. So she does the whole like a virgin thing where she's, you know, doing the self masturbation and mock orgasm stuff and everything. And
oh man.
She's in Toronto touring, and all the cops are going to arrest her if she does that kind of stuff.
What?
And she's like, it's my artistic integrity and don't repress me and all that. And
that's amazing. So she had like an F the police situation. Yeah. Just like NWA did. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they were all like taking bets backstage, like security and managers were all like, how much you want to bet she actually does it more, like lays it on thick.
I love that though. I kind of do. Like, this goes back to what I was saying before. I like my rock stars.
Yeah. To be larger than life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give me that stuff. And as soon as somebody does that, all right, then we're going to, you know, perform it even like NWA. There was no way they weren't going to perform that song. Right. It didn't matter how many police were there. It didn't matter how many letters from the FBI.
Yeah. And that goes all the way back to the story of, was it the record label or the television broadcast company or whatever telling Jim Morrison that he can't.
Yeah.
So what was the lyric again? Get much higher, I think. Can't get much higher. And he looks right at the camera and says higher. Yeah. It's so good. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I like that kind of thing. So I wanted to ask you about your recommendations for Madonna. Or would you consider yourself like a Madonna fan?
So here was my big realization with this exercise. If you would ask me that a few weeks ago, I'd have been like, yes, I love Madonna. But listening through her discography, I was like, yeah, I don't really like Madonna. Okay. Like, there are a handful of songs I absolutely love, but otherwise I don't really care about Madonna. So that surprised me because I thought it'd be more like Michael Jackson. Like, I love everything from Michael Jackson, pretty much. That, you know, but yeah, no.
I didn't become a fan of her. No, but I did enjoy listening to the first 4 albums because I remember them. Yeah, and I remember seeing the Material Girl video when I was little and having a crush on her. Right, and I remember the True Blue record coming out, and my mom listening to Papa Don't Preach all the time and all those great songs that are on that record.
I was surprised listening to True Blue. It's so much a part of my childhood, I guess. I thought it was a cover.
Papa Don't Preach?
No, the True Blue song. Is
True Blue? Yeah. I forget how that song goes.
Whatever that single was. Yeah. I was hearing that and I was like, oh, so who did she cover? Like, I was literally like looking up the credits to see who she covered. It's like, oh no, she wrote this. Yep. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So mad respect for her. I got mad respect for her work ethic.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 61.
That's crazy.
She doesn't need to be putting out records and touring.
What did you think of the newest one?
I thought it was cool. It was okay. It was she did it all in like Portugal in Lisbon. Yeah. And so she's incorporating that sort of like cultural music of that area and stuff. And so it's great that she's always doing that. It comes down to this. Are the songs any good? That's what it's always going to be about. Yeah. And I didn't think there was a lot on Hard Candy that was like, wow, that's a good tune. Yeah. There's some stuff that we're like reaching for. Because this is the exercise. Yeah. But even listening to like Rebel Heart, MDNA and Madam X and stuff, there wasn't like one song that I was just like, wow, like that's a classic Madonna track. Yeah. And I was even going through like her Celebration greatest hits, the best of Madonna thing. It's like, I think I knew almost every song on that thing. And I mean, I don't listen to Madonna. I'm a rock and roll guy. I listen to rock radio. How do I know this much Madonna material? And that's just how big it is and how it just seems to permeate.
Yeah. It's ubiquitous. You can't get away from it.
Yeah, it just overflows into everything. So
yeah.
Do you have a record that you can recommend for a listener though? If you want to go like, this is probably the place to start for you to get into Madonna if you really wanted to get into Madonna.
And this goes back to what we were talking about with Metallica, where it's like what version,
phase,
what version, because it's too different for me.
I would say post Ray of Light, it's really different. And then you've got her first 4 records, which or something, and then the 90s she was just really pushing. To me, like as soon as you get around to like erotica, bedtime stories and things like that, it's more about like pushing the envelope and provoking with the outfits and the sexiness and stuff. And I think that's why I still, even as a man, I watch like the Material Girl video and think, well, she was really pretty.
Yeah.
And I still find her the most attractive when she was like that.
Yeah.
As opposed to like the super, like just over sexualized stuff. Like I don't find that sexy. But
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I didn't like anything from the music album or like the Ray of Light, like that whole thing. If that is another like version or phase of her career.
Yeah.
There till now, I'd say the Confessions on the Dance Floor.
Got it. Yeah.
Is where I would go. I didn't like the music album. That song, I hated that song when it came out. And it was everywhere. I know it's a big tune for her, like live.
So is Ray of Light.
Ray
it's
of
a
Light
big tune.
I hated that song too.
Yeah.
So really, I kind of realized how much I don't really like Madonna, except for the really earliest stuff.
Yeah, I felt like the Ray of Light tune. I mean, it had a hook. And I feel, which Bono would adopt on the Atomic record. You know?
Yeah.
But
I didn't love it, but I like her over anything. Like I do like her over like a house track.
Yeah.
So there were 3 or 4 remixes that were on this album on the version I was listening to, and they were really good. The Junkie XL one, I loved that one because I loved Junkie XL back in the day. But yeah, all those remixes are great, and I feel like that she shines in that kind of a light where it's just like there's this nice, pulsating track underneath her, and she's being kind of sparse. Especially remixes are great with Madonna because you can just pull out these little moments. Yeah. And then they always seem to fit perfectly in this sort of like ecstatic kind of excited music.
Yeah, it's interesting too because she's not a singer.
Yeah, she's not a performer.
Yeah, it's more of like this brand and the performing. Yeah,
I do have one little thing. So I love acapellas. I'm always searching for acapellas, and I just love being able to hear. Honestly, I love hearing somebody. I love hearing the breaths between lines. Yeah. I love hearing because you're just like, oh man, I feel like I'm in the booth with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so listening to this one, remember the music song?
Yep.
There's this moment which I absolutely love.
Hey, Mr. DJ, put a record on.
What's happening?
She's looking for a harmony.
Yeah,
I just love that. Like she's in the booth. Cool. She's in between spots, and she's just trying to figure out. Like,
wow, that's cool that they have that.
Isn't that kind of cool? Yeah. I love that.
Just working through it.
Just working through it. You know what I mean? And it's just I love moments like that. Like that's she's not a singer's singer, but she obviously like. It's part of her craft, and she's.
But the other thing when you talk about a singer's singer, when you mention something like a Celine or Mariah Carey or more recently someone like a Christina Aguilera, they're not writers. Madonna was a writer.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Like when you're a songwriter, you get that allowance for your voice, whatever it is.
Exactly. So are you going with Confessions on the dance floor for your recommendation?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go with Like a Virgin. That was her second record. I think that's the most sort of pure Madonna.
Yeah.
Material Girl, Like a Virgin, Over and Over. Dress You Up is on there. Like there's some big songs on there. So
Yeah.
Her innocent phase. Oh. Yeah. So how do you feel, man? You feel like
I think we did it.
you feeling good?
I think we did it.
We did Madonna, dude. What? Like what? We did Metallica and Guns N' Roses. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, let's do this. I got drops for days. Yeah, we knew we had.
Oh, we'll lean on that.
Yeah, like we knew that.
Oh yeah.
But this was
But we didn't know about Madonna.
a bit of a
as much.
stretch.
Yeah. How about your weakest link for Madonna? I haven't really given any thought about that,
Didn't give
but
any thought either.
yeah.
Weakest link. Here's a fun one. Let's say out of the out of the Neptunes,
Pharrell.
let's say Neptunes versus Timbaland camp.
Oh, got ya.
Who do you think did better?
I think I like the Timbaland camp better.
I think I ended up liking more of the Neptune stuff better.
I think the Pharrell stuff is more. I think there's more of it.
Okay.
But I felt like the songs that... Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say...
The couple of tracks she did with JT I thought were cool, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Usually
You know what?
whatever JT was... It's like Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
JT.
You can tell him...
Or pals.
Call him whatever you call him.
I felt like him and Timbaland did a good job. And they had a bit more of a handle on what Madonna is. Madonna was, or what she needed.
Interesting.
You know, but
yeah.
don't let me stray.
I don't know. I think
that's cool. That's cool that we're going to argue.
I think
I'd
I'd go Team Neptunes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think they're probably the more talented, but for this Madonna record, I felt like it was a bit meh.
Yeah.
Bleh. All right.
I'm with you.
Okay, brother. Well,
Did we do it?
we did it.
All right, listen, people. We didn't check the credits. We need you to get out there and
Spread the word.
Review the show. Spread the word. We need 5-star rate now. Honest reviews. Give honest reviews.
Yeah, 5-star honest review.
Yes. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Tell everybody you know. We want to hit those charts hard. We want to be up there. You know.
And we're having a blast. And we hope you are too.
Yeah.
Until the next time.
Peace.
Cheers.
You have recently enjoyed a Check the Credits podcast, a program I can only assume you've enjoyed on a radio receiver that would have been at your disposal. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And I have no idea what any of that means because I'm a broadcaster guy from the 1920s. Thank you, and good night.